Hey everyone. So I wanted to come on here and just give my thoughts on some things that have been happening lately. As far as like a certain shakeup at MSNBC and such, because apparently the new head there, the new lady in charge, apparently is cleaning house. Now they are spinning off a lot of their shows at MSNBC into another network, or at least a little spin-off network, if you will. And some of the people, controversial or not, are going to be retained to go over there. I think it's called spun out or spin out or something like that. But anyway, this lady decided that one of the things she was going to do was she was going to finally do, was not finally, but she was going to do something that I think a lot of people knew was going to happen, and that is, basically take out the, I wouldn't say take out the trash, but basically try to salvage the reputation of MSNBC by removing certain people from the network. And one of those people was Joy Reid. Now, of course, there are those that feel that it was inappropriate to do it during Black History Month, and look, they have a right to believe that. And in a way, I do agree that maybe she could have waited to at least this Saturday or next week, which is the first full week in March, to do it, so that way there wouldn't be any like controversy or anything like that. But anyway, though, this lady, I can't think of her name right now. She's cleaning house. Like I said, she's allowing certain people to go and have shows on the news spin-off network and all that. And one of those people is Rachel Maddow, but some people don't even think she'll be long for this world known as MSNBC or even the spin-off network, if you will. But yeah, they're letting her be part of this. And Joy Reid, her show, The Readout, its last episode will be this week, I believe. And she is going to be out after that. There's no other place she's going to go to except for maybe YouTube and maybe Rumble and other places. But yeah, she's going to be out. She's going to be done. And mainly because of the fact that she has been essentially a bit of a, I guess you could say, a bit of a troublemaker or a very opinionated individual. As I try to work on something here for a second, but a very opinionated individual. I mean, she will give her thoughts on how she feels about things, and sometimes her thoughts could get her, and by extension, the network, into a lot of trouble. So this new lady decided, enough of this. I'm going to try to salvage what I can, and that's what she's doing. She's trying to salvage what she can, and I'm sure she's had a meeting with some of the people she's keeping for the new spinoff network, and she has told them, look, if you guys want to stay here, you guys got to be unbiased, or if you're going to say something, at least let people know that this is your opinion, and it's not, and it doesn't share the same views as MSNBC, or whatever the network that's being spun off is called. Um, but yeah, she is. But yeah, Joy Reid, she's done. She's out, if you will, as part of the network. She's out of there, and I don't think you can blame this lady for doing it because, again, MSNBC, despite how you feel about them, they're meant to talk about the news. They are basically the NBC Universal's equivalent to Fox News, and you're supposed to use that platform to talk about the news, to talk about what's going on, give an unbiased opinion, not be someone that's very biased and in the eyes of a lot of folks is willing to come out on your show, which is under their roof, and basically say, hey, I want this to happen, I want that to happen, and all that, which would be, which would be very alarming in the eyes of a lot of folks, or in the ears of a lot of folks, because it would sound like that what you're trying to encourage is violence, you know, coming out and saying you want riots and stuff like that, and it's like, what are you talking about? What are you getting at? And so yeah, I don't really blame them. I don't really blame this lady or anything for doing what she did because, again, if you're going to try to salvage, the show or the network you're taking over of, you're being put in charge of, if you're going to try to salvage it, or at least some of it, then you got to basically do some house cleaning. And if that house cleaning means taking out people that, you know, obviously have not seen better days viewership-wise and everything since the election, and, even since Inauguration Day, even though the views went up just a tiny bit. But also these people are very controversial and very, like, I guess you could say very extreme left wing and everything. Then and the fact that you want to basically, your goal is you want to basically try to make your network, respectable again, respectable, easy for me to say again. You want to try to make your network respectable again. Then the best way you're going to do that is to essentially, you know, do some major house cleaning and do a repaint and a remodeling, and basically that means taking out what doesn't need to be there, anymore, and having them go off and do their own thing. And if that means going to YouTube and everything, or going to Twitch or Twitter or whatever, and saying, hey, you can find me here now, and so be it. You'll have your opinion. You'll have your opportunity to voice your opinion there, and that's fine. Don't get me wrong. You go to Blue Sky, you can do it there. TikTok, you can go do it there. That's fine. That's up to you. But if you're going to work for a major network like MSNBC, which represents all of NBC, all of NBC News, that is, if you're going to do that, then you need to be respectable. You need to be, unbiased. You need to basically take whatever feelings personally that you have for somebody and not let them override your judgment. And that's what this lady has done. And the same with Rachel Maddow. But obviously with Rachel Maddow is, she is kind of in the same category, but at least she, in a sense, has enough sense to be like, hey, these are my opinions. I know people are not going to agree with them. I know it might get me in a little bit of trouble, but at least she's the kind of person that's not going to say, hey, let's start a race riot, or let's do this, let's do that. No, she's the kind of person that's going to just say her piece, when she can, and, focus on whatever else they have to talk about, or whatever other topics she has to talk about. The same with Sunny Hostin. Everybody's thinking Sunny Hostin should be gone from ABC and The View, but she's getting her own little spin-off show, The Weekend View, as it's called, on ABC Online. And however long that's going to last is up, it's a question in itself. But Sunny Hostin, yeah, she'll be very opinionated, but here's the thing. Sunny Hostin, even though it's against her own judgment, or against, or, although it might sour her pride and everything, she will be willing enough to, basically apologize for what she said, because even if she, she'll apologize, I'm saying, for what she said, whether or not she's given a note from the producers to do so, because it's like, don't say that on here, because that's, you're letting your personal feelings, override your judgment, and, a lot of people felt like, hey, she should be on the chopping block too, but, what's interesting about her is, again, she is kind of in that same field. She is in that same kind of magnetism, if you will, field, but the thing is, she's more, I guess you could say, more, willing to basically swallow her pride, especially if she's told not to say anything anymore, or she has to apologize on air. She's willing to swallow her pride and leave her personal feelings at the door, or leave it as is for the time being, and that's it. Now, do I think she could probably be out the door soon as far as ABC goes? Yeah, I think that's going to happen, but if she is able to keep her head just barely above water and basically be like, look, this is how I feel, but I don't want to go too far anymore, or else I'll get in trouble, then good. And that's good for her, more power to her, because at least she's learning, hey, you can have your opinions, but don't go too far. Don't take it too far, or else it's going to come back to bite you. End of discussion. But again, Joy Reid, she took it a lot. She took it to basically a higher extreme, if you will, in her feelings and everything. So that basically Sunny Hostin and Rachel Maddow, people would be like, they're more they're more believable to kind of be accepting down the line of being unbiased and everything, and finally willing to, give DT a chance, if you will, as the leader of the country, than this Joy Reid is. And if Joy Reid, in my opinion, would have just basically kept her mouth shut, if you will, and not, and not said the things that she did, that, and just, and maybe just before her show starts, say, hey, these are my opinions. They do not reflect MSNBC. These are my opinions and everything. Then I think she would have been okay. She would have been fine. But she didn't do that, and now, it cost her a job, cost her a show. Where do I think she might land next? I think obviously it's going to be YouTube, and it might even be Blue Sky, maybe Twitter, as her landing point, maybe even Facebook. But she ain't going to be on network television anymore unless CNN takes her. But we'll see. But that's all I'm going to say on it, though, guys. Give me your thoughts down below. What do you think of the situation that happened with her? And until then, I will talk to y'all later. Do all the things you need to that are listed in the description. Like the video, ring the bell for notification. Subscribe to the channel. And until next time, guys, I am out.